The other night, I did a Truth Finders live stream on the devil. And I have a live chat that runs, and, it's going to be inevitable that people will stray onto other topics and all, but it seemed like very few people were actually paying any attention to that and had gone off to chase something else, like somebody yelling squirrel to a dog. It was just a completely different topic and causing needless division. And I don't care what the topic is or was or will be and who it is that introduces it. I think the point is for us as Christians, I'm not just talking about mods versus non-mods moderators, I'm talking about just Christians. When you come to listen to a topic, try to listen to it, and if somebody brings up a topic that isn't really applicable to what we're talking about, try not to chase it. I mean, people are going to bring it up, and it's fine to say what we think is, appropriate to the topic, but and I'm as guilty as this as anybody, as a lot of times if a live stream is about a general chit chat, you're going to have all kinds of topics in the chat, and that's no problem. But when there's a specific topic with references and research and things like that, I think it's better and less rude to try to stay on that topic. But the point is that Christians are going to disagree. And whether it's Bible versions or earth shape or earth age or a gazillion other things, that there are disputable matters and non-disputable matters. The gospel is non-disputable. It is, this is a Christian channel. We do Bible studies here. And the point is that you can't really call yourself a Christian by the Bible's definition, which is the only one that matters, unless you're following the Christ. That's what Christian means. And salvation is by faith, Ephesians 2:8-9, we all know that one, and not by anything else. And there are going to be doctrinal differences after that. There are going to be serious disagreements, and people have convictions, and that's great. We all have convictions and are going to disagree with just about any channel or church you would go to. But the point is that we have to learn as Christians to disagree gracefully, which means you don't try to say there's something wrong with somebody. I don't know how many times I've hammered that point home. You can't say there's something wrong with somebody for disagreeing. And I've made the point before as well that people, Christians or not, can go through life skipping merrily along believing contradictory things and things that don't follow, non sequiturs. You would think that a saved person, for example, would walk consistently. That's what the teaching of the New Testament especially is to walk consistently with the gratitude and humility that are required to accept the gospel. I mean, if you're not humble enough to know that God is God and you're not, and to accept what Jesus did for you, and if you're not grateful for what he did, then how is that salvation? And the point is that if you were humble and grateful and got saved, not by your humility and gratitude, but because you can't come to Christ without faith, without wanting that relationship, that's what Bible teaches, not me, then why would that be thrown away once you have the adoption, once you're saved? And so this is a problem with human nature, but the bar is set higher for Christians, that when we disagree, we have to know that once we're past the gospel, there's going to be disagreements, even though it seems incredible to us and unbelievable that people could not agree with us on a lot of important things, and they are important. For example, I think one of the most important is how Christians view each other on the matter of hierarchy, whether it's clergy, laity, or male-female. This is a big, big issue because it affects people in their daily lives. People have died for disagreeing on that topic. Christians killing each other. This is not, how can we call them Christians? But there are many, for example, women who have been murdered by abusive husbands because the church told them to endure it, and that this was their place and they didn't know their place and they should die for it at the hands of Christians. This is unacceptable. This is disgusting. And so that's why it's a big, big, big issue, and why I'm so passionate about it, and why I wouldn't tolerate somebody pushing gender supremacy or ecclesiastical supremacy in my chat, on my channel. But there are other things that don't affect daily life that much as far as how a Christian behaves. And those are secondary matters by any stretch of any definition. So where is anyone paying attention to Romans 14:1 or building each other up, as it says in Hebrews? This is like 10:25 they love to quote for going to church, but that's not what it says. It says, don't neglect meeting together, but build each other up. There are many verses on building each other up. That's not what's happening when people will come into the live stream on a topic and then say, somebody yells squirrel, and off they go on another topic and start beating each other over the head, beating their fellow servants over it. So there needs to be grace on both sides of those issues, and you can watch the recent Truth Finders number 24, Speak of the Devil, and look at the chat to see what was going on. So, and again, I don't care. It isn't a side on the issue of earth shape that was causing the problem. It's people, Christians, not having the grace to know when a secondary matter is secondary, even though it's consistent or inconsistent, depending on which side you're on. That's not the question. The question is not consistency. The question is, what's a secondary matter? And we have to pay attention to that. I don't want to drive people away for any reason, whether it's because there's too much turmoil and strife, or because the turmoil and strife is because somebody is making a mountain out of a molehill, making a salvation issue out of that which is not a salvation issue. Earth shape is not a salvation issue. Earth age is not a salvation issue. So try and I mean, I don't know how many ways I can say this, but as far as my channel is concerned, this is a Bible teaching channel. And yes, cosmology and earth age and things like that are things that the Bible talks about. And I'll tell what I think the Bible is saying about those things. But when it comes to people in the chat disagreeing, or in the comment section disagreeing, we have to remember where the line is drawn. It's drawn around the gospel. And behavior on disagreement is the bigger issue than which side you are on the topic. And I don't know how else to say this, but look at that chat, see what was going on. Somebody yelled squirrel. I don't even know or care which side yelled it first, but I do care how both sides behaved on the matter, and that if you know there's a topic going on, try and pay attention, and if there is a subtopic that's worth pursuing, at least pursue it as Christians, is all I'm saying, for both sides. So hopefully that will help in the future. Thanks for listening.